as I think we've done it for the last couple of seasons now, but as the new Premier League season is about to begin, I just wanted to sort of talk about and give my thoughts on Chelsea as a Chelsea fan and what I expect from us this season, how I'm feeling, am I confident going into this year, what I want to see from the team, Maresca, the players, what improvements I want to see as the season progresses, etc. So yeah, just gonna sort of ramble away and give my thoughts, as I like to do these sort of dedicated Chelsea videos from time to time. So apologies if you're not a Chelsea fan, but even if you're not, I think you might find it a little bit interesting to listen to, I guess, a Chelsea fan's perspective on the season. So, in terms of how I'm feeling going into this season, as the season's about to begin, I will say I'm feeling pretty good. I think the Club World Cup has actually done a lot for Chelsea in terms of the general mood at Chelsea Football Club. I feel like it's just so high. I think it's been a really long time since us as Chelsea fans have been able to get behind a team. Really since we won the Champions League under Tuchel, since this new ownership has come in, things have been pretty rough, and at least me personally, I've really struggled to sort of connect with any of the Chelsea teams, with, all of the players constantly changing and the managers constantly changing and us just generally doing absolutely awful. But I think now the mood amongst Chelsea fans is the best it's been since we won the Champions League under Tuchel. That's sort of what I sense, and at least me personally speaking, this is perhaps the happiest I've been as a Chelsea fan in many, many years. Because, like I said, I think that Club World Cup win has done a lot for us in terms of just showing me and Chelsea fans that we're on the right path here. We are on track, and we can trust this team, we can trust this manager. And last season, I think, was a pretty good one for us. We pretty much achieved everything we wanted to. We got Champions League football, we won the Conference League as expected, and as a bonus, we managed to win the Club World Cup. So I would say, to be honest, like, the vibes, I think, in Chelsea are very good and very optimistic. I'm very excited for the first time in a while for Chelsea this season, because I think there's a feeling that something could happen here. Like, there's a feeling amongst Chelsea that we're getting closer, and maybe this could be the season where we truly take that leap up. Because the last couple seasons we've improved, and last year was an improvement, but I guess leading into what I expect for this season, really, it's to take another step up, and this is perhaps one of the hardest steps to take up in a way, right? So we were a few seasons ago like mid-table, like where Man United and Spurs were, but not that bad, but we were awful like under Graham Potter and everything. And then we made that step up under Poch to like a Conference League spot. That's quite an easy step up to make. Then under Maresca we made that step up again to the Champions League spot. Again, that's a little bit of an easier step to make, especially with the talent in our squad and how much we spend. But then from now here, this is where things start to get a little bit harder in terms of how do we make that step up from here to where we are now, a Champions League team, to to see over the course of this season is more progression and see us, challenge a little bit, challenge the three who finished above us last season. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder. I think the teams who finished behind us, like Villa, Newcastle, Forest, United, Spurs, I think we need to now start bridging a gap between them. I don't want a situation where it was like last season, we're going down to the final day of the season, I'm nervous if we're getting top 4. For me, if that's happened this year, that is a failure of a season. I want to see us progress, and I want us to start looking ahead now to Man City, Arsenal and Liverpool and say, okay, let's try close the gap between them. I'm not expecting us to finish above Arsenal or Liverpool or even City, but I want us to close the gap. I want us to, be within arm's length, be within touching distance of those three teams, and I think that's a reasonable expectation to have. But it is, it's gonna be hard because I think one of our biggest issues last season was consistency, and actually that's just been our biggest issue for the last couple years, really. Chelsea in general, the last couple years in one-off games, we can do pretty well. I mean, you saw it in that Club World Cup final, right? The way we dismantled PSG was insane. And if we play like that every week, hey, we'll probably win in the league. But the problem with us is consistency. We just don't perform like that week in, week out. Last season we lost to Ipswich. We scraped a draw against them at home as well. We lost to numerous teams where we were expecting to win. We lost at home to Fulham when we're leading the game. Stuff like that, for me, I want to see us iron those issues out. But that is also one of the reasons why I don't think we're going to be necessarily challenging for the title this season, because I don't think we're quite there yet. I think we're on the path there, but I don't think we're quite there yet. Do I see this team getting 90 points, which is sort of what you need to be in that title conversation? No, I don't see it. Like I said, I don't see us having that consistency to do so. But I want to see us within the 80 to 85 point range. Maybe that is more achievable. I want to see us sort of in and around that area. Because that would show me that we're on the right track. So that's sort of the Premier League, what I'm expecting. I'm expecting us to be within range of Man City, Arsenal and Liverpool and try to close that points gap between them, and just not even be in a conversation. Top 4 should not be a conversation. It should be, we're pretty much guaranteed that. End of. Now, I'm expecting us to, I want us to win a cup. I want us to win a domestic cup, whether that be the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. Last season we didn't do well in the domestic cups, which was disappointing. But kind of understandable in a way, considering we had the Conference League on the Thursday nights and pretty much we rotated the entire team. We had our Conference League squad, and in that Conference League squad I just don't think was really good enough in FA Cup and domestic cups to do anything. Now though, with our transfer business, I think we've actually added some really good depth. We've sort of cleared out a lot of those guys, players like Dewsbury Hall, and Gungu's probably going, Joao Felix is obviously gone, but those sort of guys who no like disrespect of them, like a Disassi and stuff. You know, they contributed to us, but they're probably not adequate depth for us. And I think we've bolstered our squad this transfer window, which is needed in terms of adding more quality options. So, for example, up top last season it was literally just Nicholas Jackson. Then we had to put in Nkunku there, and Nkunku was absolute garbage. But now we've got options with João Pedro and Liam Delap, so I want to see us try and win a domestic cup. And in the Champions League, I'm also expecting us to have a deep run. I would want to, obviously, with the Champions League, it sort of depends on who you draw and everything, but I would say, like, sort of reach, like, the semi-finals is definitely attainable. It's definitely attainable, considering how poor Arsenal were last season. They managed to get in the semi-finals. Villa managed to get a quarter-final. We can definitely get at least to a semi-final, depending on the draw. And like I mentioned, you saw how we play in those sort of one-off games. I'm quite optimistic about our chances. I think we can do some good things in the Champions League next season, and I want to see us do well and test ourselves against some of the best in Europe. That's going to be very interesting. Now, if I move on to sort of what I want to see from Maresca. Now Maresca, I think, showed towards the back end of last season his tactical flexibility, but I want to see that a little bit more often. I think a lot of last season it was sort of the same sort of tactics, but towards the end of the season he started to change things up a little bit, and at the Club World Cup was the perfect example. He completely changed the system and was fantastic, and we completely nullified PSG in that final with a pretty much tactical masterclass from Maresca. Now that's something I want to see Maresca do more of this season. I want to see him adjust his style. I want to see him experiment and change things in particular games. I want to see him do that more often, because he's shown he has the capability to do so, but I don't think we saw that too much last season at Chelsea, so I want to see that over the course of the season. And also in the Champions League, I want to see how he does in knockout games, two-legged ties. I want to see how you set up the team when we're first leg away from home against Barcelona at the Camp Nou in a Champions League quarter-final. I want to see you set up a game plan there and try and get the result. So yeah, that's sort of what I want to see from Maresca in terms of like tactically in those big games and sort of tactical flexibility. I want to see him continue sort of the progress he made, and you know, I fully back Maresca, but do I think Maresca is going to win us a Premier League title? I still don't know. It's early days, but that's sort of what I was talking about, where I want to start seeing some progress, where I can say, you know what, actually maybe I can see Maresca winning the Premier League with us at some point. So yeah. Now I'm going to go through like the individual players now and sort of what I want to see from them in terms of improvements next season. So the goalkeeping situation I've sort of just come to accept. It is what it is. Robert Sanchez is going to be the number one next season, whether we like it or not. And trust me, I do not like it. But now look, my thing with Robert Sanchez is I just need to see. I don't need you to be a world-class keeper. You don't need to be world-class. I just want to see Sanchez like be okay for the majority of the season. I don't want to be talking about Sanchez. I feel like with a goalkeeper, if you're talking about a goalkeeper a lot, that's not really good sign, because you're either talking them in a really bad way like Sanchez, or even in a good way, but kind of suggests like they've been peppered with shots, so your team is pretty bad, right? I just want to be pretty much with Sanchez, not talking about him throughout the course of the season. Sanchez, I would say, for like 60% of games is fine. He's perfectly fine. It's just the other 40%. He will make absolute dumb errors. I'm not asking you to be 100% perfect, but can we increase that to like 70% of games this season you're fine and I don't need to speak about you? Like, I'll take that, I guess. I guess I'll take that. But yeah, I guess I've accepted that he's our number one. I just need to see some consistency from him. Cut out those silly errors. And now Reece James is someone who I think this is a really big season for him personally. Reece James towards the back end of last season, the way Maresca managed him was fantastic. That was sort of the longest stretch James has had without going injured in many years actually. He played a lot of games and he was incredible. He was absolutely incredible for us. But Maresca managed him very well, very carefully, and because we were playing Conference League, he was allowed to rest, but now we're in the Champions League, we might need him to play 2 games a week. So Reece James is a big season for him. He needs to stay fit for the entire season. And I'm praying he does, because if he does, then he is going to add so much to us over the course of the season. And also, personally speaking, he'll get himself into the World Cup 2026 squad for England. But if he doesn't and he gets injured again all season, then that's going to really affect our season as Chelsea. But it also is, honestly, my patience will start to run thin with him, and maybe come next summer. Honestly, I think a lot of Chelsea fans would probably start to consider cashing in on him, because what's the point if he's just constantly injured? But I'm hoping he has started to overcome those injury issues, and this could finally be the season where we get a full 38 game Reece James season, but we'll see. And I mean, Malo Gusto is someone who I also really want to see take a step up. Last season was not good for Gusto. I think he really struggled to adapt to Maresca's system. But I'm willing to sort of write that off, because the year before he was fantastic under Poch. So now this year I want to see, okay, you've had a year to figure out his system. How are you going to do? I want to see some improvement from Gusto. Cucurella, more of the same really. Another centre-back issue with Levi Colwill out for the season. That is a huge blow. I think we need to go into the market and try and sign somebody now, because the options we have Wesley Fofana, Dawson and Chalobah now, and I guess Yoel Hato can also play there as well. Now, all 4 of those are perfectly fine. I don't have an issue with any of them. The problem is none of them are like incredible. Like, all of them are fine. Like Chalobah and Dawson I'm perfectly fine with. They are solid. Fofana is very good. The problem with him is, like James, constantly injured. I'm hoping he can have a full season here. But it's more of a hope. And if he does get another injury, then again we're left with Dawson and Chalobah. And I guess there's Badiashile as well, but yeah, I don't know, he's not the best. So I want to see us bringing in another centre-back now. Colwell's injured. Caicedo, Enzo, more of the same really. Lavia, another one of those who, I mean, he sort of overcame those injury issues, but I want to see now a full season, hopefully, where you're not getting injured all the time, because I think you really do have a lot of potential. Andre Santos is someone I'm really excited for, and I really do hope gets minutes, because because he was fantastic at Strasbourg and he's been sort of hyped up a lot. I want to see him get minutes this season and I want to see how he does. Cole Palmer. Now Cole Palmer for me, I want to see him this season. I want to see him really take that step up. Last year it was sort of like up and down. He started off really well, then dipped off and ended okay. I want to see consistent performances from him this season, and I think he's going to improve given last season it was pretty much all him in the attack, but now we have different options there. I think the burden is taken off him a little bit. But I think Cole Palmer has the ability to have a season like Cole Palmer has the ability to be the player of the season next year in the Premier League. I don't think that's an outlandish take to say. He definitely has the ability to do so. I just want to see him get close to that level. I want to see him pull up 25 GA in the Prem. I want to see him put double digits in goals, and I want to see double digits in assists because I think he's capable of that. So yeah, I want to see him really kick on and establish himself as one of the best players in the world because he definitely can be. Pedro Neto is someone who I also really want to see kick on. Last year, it was his first season, he was okay, like he was fine. I think he started off a little bit slow, but towards the end of the season he ended pretty well. But this year I want to see him kick on now. I want to see him get 15 goal contributions this season. Like, I think that's a solid target for him. Yeah, Pedro Neto, he definitely has the ability to do so. He was very good at the Club World Cup too, and I want to see him kick on. Esteval, I generally have zero expectation for him. He is literally just a kid coming into Europe for the first time, doesn't even speak English. I know we spent a lot of money on him and I'm definitely excited to see him, but I'm not expecting anything, and I don't think anyone should expect anything from Esteval. Because like I said, he's literally just a kid. He's sort of a wild card. Like, anything he does, if he gets 5 GA this season, that's fine. Like, that's fine. Because he is very young, very raw. I'm not going to put any expectation and say, oh, I'm hoping he becomes the next Neymar. Like, let's wait and see how he does. But I'm excited to see how he does. And then Joao Pedro and Delap. For me, Pedro, I'm very excited about, and I want to see him. I think the minimum expectation is 15 Premier League goals. That's the minimum because Nicholas Jackson got 12 last season, so you need to be doing better than Jackson last year. And I think Pedro, I mean, it's early days, but with his finishing ability, honestly, I think he could be looking at a 20 goal mark. It could be a really good season for him. And Liam Delap, again, I want to see in and around 10 to 15 goals this season. I think he's going to get plenty of game time, and again, we've bought those two in to sort of replace Jackson, so you need to pretty much be bettering Jackson's goal tally as the minimum expectation. But I think they will, because I think they're both very good strikers. But yeah, those were sort of my thoughts on Chelsea this season. Excited to see how we do, but let me know your thoughts on Chelsea